Hi, welcome to Al's Vinyl. This is the first video, so I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. I'm Al, as you would probably expect. I collect vinyl records. I'm 22. I love records. My mum got me my first record when I think I was 16, 15 or 16. My mum loves records as well, so this is really a hobby that I've taken from her and run with. So I've been collecting records now. Ever since I was 16. I really started when I was about 20. I think 20 was when I started to buy records on Discogs, and then late 21, early 22 was when I really kind of let the snowball go downhill and started collecting records. So I love all sorts of music. I love rock, I love country, I love folk, I love indie, I love rhythm and blues. I love most stuff apart from kind of like drum and bass, kind of like drill, house music. I'm not into that. That's not my thing. So today I'm going to be going through, well, not today, but in this series on Al's Vinyl Collection, I'm going to be going through my record collection. I've amassed at least about 200 records over the past kind of 2-3 years. And I'm going to just review them in my record box. They are organized alphabetically and chronologically. Its artist name and the chronological release date of their albums. So today, to kick things off, first record, first artist, acdc, and the first LP I've got of acdc's. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. What an incredible LP, firstly. I love this LP so much. This was something I discovered late into loving acdc. acdc are arguably one of my favourite groups. I would pin them, to be honest. My streaming stats would say differently. So Spotify Wrapped came out today, and that would say differently. But I've been a big acdc fan, I'm a diehard fan since I was about 14, 15. So I would pin them as my favourite band of all time. My interests have changed over the years, but I always come back to acdc. I love acdc. So this is the first LP I've got. And yeah, I didn't discover this until probably about a month or two of listening to the band. I started with Back in Black, as I imagine most people do. And then I kind of had a few Bon Scott songs thrown in. So when I started listening to the group, I didn't start with a whole album. I went on YouTube back in kind of 2013 and I listened to Back in Black and I listened to Highway to Hell, I listened to Let There Be Rock, I listened to You Shook Me All Night Long, I listened to, all these songs, Dirty Deeds, of course, all kind of mismatched, just the songs on their own, not from the albums. So yeah, but Dirty Deeds is a brilliant album. What I've got here, I'm going to quickly take it out of the plastic protective sleeve, put that to one side. What I have here is a 2003 repress of the 1976 LP. So this is acdc's third studio album. It was released in 1976. It was produced or co-produced by George Young. As well as you say here, this one was actually it was remastered from the original master tapes by George Marino at Sterling Sound, which is cool. Okay, I love this LP. I don't, the thing with this channel, there are going to be people who know vinyl records and are audiophiles and will know everything about a record. I am not necessarily one of those people yet. I'm sure I will be. I work with sound in everything I do. I'm a musician. I have my own band. I'm studying sound engineering. But there'll be someone who will say this is a certain weight to the vinyl and I'll get it wrong. If there is someone like that, I'm sorry. Sorry if I get it wrong. I believe this is 180 gram being remastered in 2003. But I love this. Firstly, let's just quickly talk about the artwork. I think this is absolutely amazing artwork. I really love it. What is interesting, actually, looking at it, is I don't know if this is intentional. Completely about the artwork right now. I don't know if this is intentional, but these black lines that cover the eyes of the figures on the fronts are present on the back, and they're not covering anything. So I don't know if they left them in accidentally when they were creating the artwork, which is interesting. But I love this kind of the anonymous, the black bars over the eyes, hide people's identity. I believe Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be Millionaires on here, yeah. At the beginning of that song, they say that the names were changed to protect the guilty. So that's a great that's a great little nod to that song. But it's lovely. What I love about this record is that we see the early AC/DC logo. We don't see the lightning bolt. We don't see what we know. And I think on the spine as well. On the spine, I don't think we see the lightning bolts until a few albums much later on. I've got a feeling one of the only albums to have the lightning bolts on is Power Up. I think Rock or Bust. I don't think Rock or Bust does. I think it might just be Power Up that's got the actual logo instead of it being printed. Instead of it being printed in text along there, if you can see. So yeah, let's get the record out. Let's have a look. So what I love about these 2003 remasters is that they've given the sleeve a really this premium. It feels almost like card, but all this information. It's not just a paper sleeve. It's not just a paper insert. It's actually a nice thick card insert with all of this information about the album. These wonderful photos, and we've got Bond's handwriting here, which is amazing. It's lovely to see these amazing photos of the band, the lyrics. I love it, and of course the original artwork here. The original, I'm not sure if this was just the Australian release of Dirty Deeds, or if this was, I think this was the Australian release for Dirty Deeds, which I love. I think that looks so cool. I was always fascinated when I was younger by Bond's massive forearm. I really liked that. I thought that was really cool. And then again, we've got the band have actually got the black bars along their eyes as well. So this LP, I'm going to get the vinyl out quickly. I did think about doing these reviews with like anti-static gloves or like white gloves on, but to be honest with you, that might look a little bit odd. I'd almost look a little bit odd. So these 2003 remasters have all got the band's red logo, which I love. I think that's one of the easiest ways to tell that you've got a remaster or a repress. Obviously, apart from the fact it says 2003 on, it's seeing this. Now, this could actually do with a good clean. I've not played this. I think I've only played this like about once or twice. My mum got it for me for my 16th birthday, and I've only listened to it a handful of times, which I need to change. I need to listen to that a lot more. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It feels like 180 gram. It's a really lovely thick vinyl. It feels lovely to hold. I'm a big fan of old vinyl. I love I've got a lot of stuff from the 60s that I'll show you later on as this channel develops. I've got a lot of 60s, a lot of kind of some mid 50s stuff, some 70s stuff, and you can really feel the difference. Obviously, when it's 180 gram, it's a lot different. But you can feel the quality. I love the old stuff, but I love the new stuff. Everything feels different. Everything has its own personality. This is the thing about vinyl, is that you get some people who collect it and they don't like noise, surface noise. And they don't, they don't like if it crackles. Well, that is surface noise, isn't it? You have people who don't want any form of noise on their record. And I just think that's so not wrong. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I disagree strongly. I think surface noise, every crackle and pop adds personality to your record. It's age. It's the whole vinyl experience. If you want a clean listen, don't get a CD. Go plug in Spotify. You're not really coming to a record for premium clean sound as such. So this record, let's look a little bit at the track listing. I'm not going to read them all out. Obviously, you can read, you can see. You probably know this record if you've listened to it. If you found this video, you probably know AC/DC. So I'm just going to point out some of my favourites. So obviously, Dirty Deeds on Dirt Cheap is. I mean, it's a crowned song. It deserves a pedestal. It is one of those cult songs that has just never died. It's been phenomenal. From its release to the present day, this is one of the songs I've been fortunate enough to see AC/DC twice live on their Rock or Bust tour, and this song was one that I was so excited to hear both times. I love it. I love the song, especially as it developed. One of my favourite parts of the song, obviously, the lyrical content is great. It's a bit funny, a bit tongue in cheek. It's a bit dark. It's cool. And I love the pumping intro. You know, the kind of the roaring intro, and then you go into this verse, and it's just really kind of like, you know, you can kind of really bump your head to it, and it feels really good. But in the chorus, you've got the backing vocals, but mainly Malcolm when they're singing "Dirty Deeds" and they've done "Dirt Cheap," and that live was like, it sounded gritty and it sounded raw and it sounded like, yeah, I mean, I love the ending when you've got the low vocals, it's TNT, cyanide, and then they interject with the "done dirt cheap." I think that's so cool. So "Dirty Deeds" is a cult classic. I love the song. I'm going to quickly interject here. Something I want to do is to put the record on in the background, just for a few seconds. I know the video will probably get blocked, so I want to avoid that. So Columbia, Sony, whoever owns the rights to acdc, I'm not going to do this for long. I'm going to try and pitch it up. I'm going to do everything I can, but I'm just going to play a few excerpts of my favorite songs in the background. And I'm not a huge, some of these songs, I know they're iconic. They're not really songs I'd go back to be honest, or that I'd go back to kind of a lot of the time. So Love at First Feel and Big Balls, they're great. They're iconic songs, especially Big Balls. You know, I remember when I was kind of 13, hearing that song for the first time and kind of almost wetting myself laughing, thinking, how did they release this? Like, this is so crazily funny and great, and, you know, the best thing I've heard. But it's not one of the songs that I instinctively think, yeah, I'm going back to this. Rocker as well. Rocker, the studio version of Rocker, is a great song, but again, I don't go back to this version. I like to go back to the If You Want Blood live CD or live LP. I like to go back to that version. I love the live version of Rocker with Bon Scott. I think it's just, the energy in those performances is just unmatched. Problem Child is a song that I love. I'm sad that we didn't get to see it on the Rocker Bus tour. I think their last show, I believe the very last show they played with Axl, they did Problem Child as an encore. And I'm sad we missed it. When I went to see them in London, they didn't play it. I think the encore was Highway to Hell, Riff Raff, which, again, hearing Riff Raff live was just incredible, and For Those About to Rock. But Problem Child, again, is just one of those songs that there's so much power behind the intro. You know, there's just so much. You hear those first chords, and it's just immediately like you've been hit by a freight train, and you just kind of, you know, you're rocking with that song, and I absolutely love it. And I think the Problem Child lyrics anyway are great. I mean, I read earlier that Bon wrote it about Angus, which is pretty cool. I think that's a fun little fact to throw in. There's going to be some Rockin' is a good song. Again, not one that I instinctively go back to, but it's got a steady groove, and I really enjoy that kind of laid back song. Like, you've got these powerhouse songs like Rocker. Rocker is a powerhouse of a song. You've got Dirty Deeds, you've got Problem Child, all on the first side. So you need some of these songs to kind of level the album out a bit, and it's great. I love that they've done that. Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire, again, is also just one of my favorite songs. I love it. I remember hearing it for the first time, and it was revolutionary. You know, it's so kind of chilled, and you've got these guitars that are just kind of being slowly picked in the intro. And I love it. I just love the song. Ride On is a song I could talk forever about. I love this song so much, so much. I first heard this song, I believe, in Stephen King's film Maximum Overdrive, which is a debatable film. We won't dive into it. It's an interesting film, but acdc did the soundtrack. That's the Who Made Who album, which, again, great album. Love it. I need to get it on vinyl. I don't have it, but I'd love to talk about it one day. But Ride On, I was really taken aback by the really soft intro and the lyrics that actually kind of made me stop and think, whoa, okay, okay, rock band, okay, acdc, you've just touched my heart, and just I love the backing vocals as well, especially and live when they played it in 2001 at the Stade de France with Brian Johnson. I think it's the only time he's performed it live, and that was really nice. That was a really nice performance. But I love the song. I love the solos. I think they're so bluesy and gritty, and you've got this. You can hear Angus has dialed back his volume pot. And then he really brings it out in those solos, and you can hear the crunch of that guitar. And Squealer, again, it's not for me. For me personally, it's not something that I would go back to. Really Dirty Deeds, Problem Child. There's going to be some rocking, maybe. Ain't No Fun Makes Me Want to Be a Millionaire and Ride On are my standout songs of this album. To raise it on a scale of 10, which I'm going to try and do for these reviews, I would put Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap at a solid 7 out of 10. It's an amazing sound, a heavy sound. You've got Bon Scott on the vocals. You've got acdc kind of finding their feet, but not really. They've kind of, by this point, third studio album, they've got their sound, they've got their audience, or their audience is growing, and they've got these amazing songs. They've got these incredible songs that will really get you stomping and shouting. I'm sorry if I've rambled. I hope you enjoyed this little review. I'm going to be going through the whole of AC/DC, but thank you. Yeah, if you like the video, please do consider giving it a little thumbs up. And if you subscribe, that'll be really would mean the world to me. I'm going to be really cliche with you now and say turn the bell on so you never miss an upload. But it's true. It's true. So I will hopefully see you. I'll do these once a week. Hopefully I'll see you a week from today for the next AC/DC album, which I believe is Power Age or Powerage. I never knew how to say it. I'll cover that next week. I believe it's Power Age. But thank you so much. I'm Al. This is Al's Vinyl Collection. Take care.